Now al-Sadr has ordered his fighters to end hostilities and demanded amnesty for them. Correspondent David McDougall reports.
Today, Basra residents woke to find their streets largely empty of radical Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr's Mahdi army, with Iraqi forces having been on a mission to hunt down what the Iraqi government calls outlaws and criminals, and Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki vowing to stay in Basra until security is restored, to perform what his spokesman says is a government obligation.
If anyone breaks the law, they will be pursued. Being part of any political group or trend will not give you an amnesty. The Iraqi state is obliged to pursue you regardless of your background.
Analysts say Maliki burned political capital by leading a fight in Basra in which he faced greater resistance than planned. Instead of a quick win, Iraqi forces faced a fight with the Mahdi army they couldn't win and resorted to calling on British and American allies for help. Maliki's ultimatum for insurgents to surrender within 72 hours was later extended to 10 days. On the face of it, al-Sadr scored a public relations coup this weekend. Iraqi officials had to travel to meet the cleric in Iran, not necessarily the actions of a government with a winning hand. Out of those negotiations, Sadr emerged with a new 9-point plan, seemingly seizing the initiative by calling a halt to violence and demanding an amnesty for his Mahdi army fighters. But at the start of the weekend, it was in fact Sadr calling on his fighters not to surrender. 48 hours later, he'd done an about-face on that stance, perhaps because he realised that while his militia was able to bloody the noses of Iraqi forces in the short term, it was ultimately outgunned and outnumbered.
I think that once again, Sadr is the winner coming out of this. He's even stronger than he was last week, and the reason is that he didn't have to win a military victory here. He just had to show that he had some real political power in the Iraqi political system.
But that's not the whole story. Sadr's actions this weekend, especially the turnaround ceasefire, may well have weakened him within his own organisation. Hardline Mahdi army factions in particular will not take kindly to being allowed to attack government forces they believe are out to get them and then find themselves suddenly muzzled again. Tonight, the streets of Basra are quiet, and in another step towards normalcy, schools are set to reopen tomorrow morning. Here in Baghdad, the curfew is largely over, allowing most city residents to resume their lives. And it seems like Muqtada al-Sadr may have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, especially if his fighters quite literally live to fight another day. Question is, will he be the one to lead them? In Baghdad, David McDougall, Fox News.